Oh, we're on. There we go. I love it. Okay, so folks, welcome to the 1986th annual or weekly HCC meeting. Today is April 7th, and it is 1:02, and we're beginning the meeting. Present at today's meeting are Val Oliver, Abby Camp, myself, Ray Cole, John McLaughlin, Carrie Thornwell, and Diane, you are with us, correct, on Zoom?
Yes.
Very good. That would be Diane Coombs, everybody. Anyone else on Zoom? Stephen, Jesse? No. No? Okay, so that's our board for the day, unless anything changes. For the one lone soul sitting in the audience here, if you plan on using your own recording device for any portion of the meeting, just let us know in advance so we can tell you not to, okay? All right, thanks. All right, so first order of business, of course, is to approve today's agenda. Somebody said, thank you, Val. Thank you. I'm off to a good start. Thank you, Diane. On that motion, Val.
Aye.
Abby.
Aye.
John. To approve today's agenda. Aye. Aye. Diane, on your motion?
Aye.
And I'm in favor. Motion carries. Okay.
And Mr. Chair, Stephen is not here.
Oh, yeah. So for the record, Stephen is with us. Stephen Welsh is with us on
I'm
Zoom.
gonna try to
Hello, Stephen.
this lovely screen on for you guys. Can the people see anything?
Okay.
Okay.
First up is consents.
I have to recuse.
Yes, and
Me too.
as does Carrie. So that means Stephen,
Yep,
you join us on the
Motion to approve is
consent
submitted.
agenda.
motion to approve consents.
All right, so Stephen has made a motion to approve consents. On that motion, Abby,
Aye.
John. Thank you, Diane.
Aye.
Thank you, Stephen, on your motion.
Aye.
I'm in favor, motion carries. That was consents. Now we have old business for which we have boards already established. Is anybody here from Nantucket Architecture Group for the first
Yes, Billy.
application? William, you with us?
I am.
Okay, so your board here is myself, Abby, John, Diane, Carrie, all of whom are present today. Okay?
Yep.
You can vote, what's that? What was the vote on that? No, this is old business, so we're on the first application. Oh, thank you. Okay, and you're on it. Okay. Color review.
Robert?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
William, what are you doing?
This is 10 Quince Street.
Yeah.
And
We know about the color change.
yes, back in October of last year, we got approval from the HDC to change the existing gray trim to all white trim for the entire house. And this application is to change the front facade of the main portion of the house to clapboard.
Right.
And also the paint color last time was, we had asked for white, but you had asked for it to be different colors. So the owners said that either the light gray or the Quaker gray, and they'll go with whatever you recommend.
Okay, what was the pink color?
The what?
Oh, paint color. I'm sorry. I thought you said pink color.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No,
Okay,
the
so
paint color.
you're basically offering up that we would either have Quaker gray or, did you say Nantucket gray?
Yep, you took it right.
Okay. With all the trim remaining as white,
As white, yes.
as per. Was that the only question that we had going?
Yes, that was it.
All right, there we are.
All right, could I go first?
Well,
Yes, sir.
Molly,
Because I have a question.
Oh, right, Holly.
Molly,
Yeah.
sorry.
So this, again, this is a typical Nantucket between 1762 and 1781, so pre-Revolutionary War, built by Barnabas Coleman. The Historic Structures Advisory Board took a look at this, and there was no concerns on the Quaker gray. But Bill's also showing Newport blue, and there was an assumption that that was for the door. Is that correct?
Yes, it's A, B, and C. So the owners would like to have the one that's labeled A, but if you guys didn't want that, they could go to the B or C.
Oh, well, it's okay, so then you're saying Newport blue for actually the clapboard, not the door, right?
No, for the clapboard. Yes, the door, I believe, is
I
supposed to be
think,
Newport.
look, if their choice is A and HSAB is saying A, which is Quaker gray, right?
Yes.
Okay, that seems to
Yeah,
be.
Quaker gray. And I did provide photos to the sitting board. I was actually in the area last Thursday. It was my birthday, so that's why I wasn't here. And yes, I decided to walk through town because that's what I like to do. And I did see the site, and I did bring, these are the photos that I took, I did send to you all. Happy with what the work's going. I did also just want to ask Bill that the existing stoop or the historic stoop is gone, and I wasn't sure that actually was something that was approved previously, because the first application was for the French doors on the back of the main block of the historic structure. And then the last one was for the clapboard. So I wasn't sure what was going on with that. Also, because of obviously the proposed work being done, that the existing vegetation has been removed. So didn't know if that was going back in as is like kind, or if there was going to be a landscape plan proposed. So those are my comments.
This is one of those projects where they only ask me to do stuff to get approvals and no follow through. But I know the clients, and I know that they want to put the hedge back. But I don't know what happened to that front stoop, assuming that they would put it back the way it was. I think that the contractor said that there was some, it's unstable and he was replacing it, but we never got a approval for that.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
And we do have photos of what the stoop looked like.
Yeah, so do we. Abby?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that when you say trim color for the windows, so the clapboard's going to be the Quaker gray, but the trim around the windows and the sash and all of that, is that going to be Quaker gray too?
No, that's been approved as white back in October.
Okay, so I think that's a little odd, because I think the white is going to like jump off the gray, but I'd like to hear what other people have to say about that.
Okay, let's see, so that was Abby. Diane, you want to go?
I can't think of another example.
Sure.
of that.
I think there's tons of examples.
Okay, show me one.
No, look at this, you can see the Quaker, it looks like Quaker gray on the trim now.
Yeah,
And
it
the
is.
white sash, so
Yeah.
you can see that and imagine the whole thing. So
but the whole,
No,
the
no,
whole
no. She
clapboard,
wants that. They got approval to do all the trim as white. The
Right.
clapboard would be going Quaker gray.
Oh,
White trim.
I thought they were doing all of it Quaker
No.
gray.
No. No.
Oh, they're
no.
keeping the white trim.
Well, it's not, they're changing it to white trim. Right now it's Quaker gray.
Or their original application was white and they got it approved, and they're
Correct.
keeping that approval and, oh, I see.
Did you want to continue?
Should I go on?
Well, okay, go ahead, Diane. Go ahead.
I think if the trim is going to remain white, we should perhaps use a lighter gray than the Quaker gray, because that's quite as Abby says, that's quite a jump out at you. Combination, if it was a lighter gray if that truly is Newport blue, that would be, I don't see where we have another gray. We have it, we have that platinum gray. I don't see it in here, but I don't think we want to have the Quaker gray and then white. I think it should be a softer gray picked out and look at it to make sure. I'm not sure we want to use the same thing would happen with the Nantucket gray. So I think we have to pick out a better gray if they're going to keep the white trim.
Okay, thank you, Diane. Carrie,
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think it's sort of backwards somehow. That the trim is brighter than the skin, so to speak. That's interesting.
okay. Let's see, John, comments?
Yeah, I think the Quaker gray is more prominent in the neighborhood. White, Quaker gray.
As clapboard, because they want the trim to stay white. Trim white,
White's a natural color everywhere.
yeah, okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with the group on this one, actually. I think that the gray should go lighter, and I'm thinking there, what's not represented on here, but is used fairly commonly is platinum gray, which is the lightest of the grays. But we probably need to see, a color chip or something of that with the white to be able to gauge it. The other thing you might want to do, William, I know that there's examples of houses with white trim and gray clapboard around. Unfortunately, I don't think you included those in your package as precedent. Because everyone
Well-
here is trying to visualize what this is going to look like.
And
Well,
what-
I'm with you guys. I think that the Quaker gray is too dark, and we had originally come in with white trim and white clapboard, but everybody said that the white was too bright.
Yeah, that's too much.
And then that's when you guys suggested a gray. So, but if the platinum gray will work for you, that'd be perfect.
Well, I'm just throwing it out there as a suggestion. I
What
certainly-
color is the front door going to be, Bill?
I believe it's the Newport blue.
Okay, which it's not painted right now,
Well, it is.
right?
On this photograph, it is.
No,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what I-
like a
It's a
cobalt
Hamilton.
blue. It's like this,
Oh.
it's like
Yeah,
the
it's
color of
seriously
the
dark.
water.
And I would not call that a true blue, not by any means. I would like it to go to the Newport, particularly if it trims white.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
while I was on Quince, there are two houses that basically flank the intersection of Westminster and Quince at the top.
Yes.
And both of them are clapboard, but they're a lighter colors. So they're
Like
light,
lighter gray or?
no, they're just lighter in tone.
So like
So
lighter sort of cream color.
cream colors,
That's
yes, yes, and they blend in. They're there's definitely not contrasted in them.
Hey, Bill,
Yes.
I think we're gonna kick this one back to you. So you heard what Holly just said?
I could try them
I missed the address.
It would be my own opinion.
They're at the top of Westminster and Quince, right at the intersection there, right across from one another.
Okay, newsflash. Abby is gonna attempt a motion.
But you may not like it, but I was gonna say clapboard in the platinum gray and the trim and the sash as well, and the Newport blue door.
Good. That's good.
That would be my motion.
Well,
I think
I'm
it's-
sure that's gonna fly, but I'm looking at Bill. I mean, are we making a motion so that you're gonna come back with a revision anyway?
Well, I would, okay. I just don't know if the owners have already purchased the paint or not, the white.
Well, look, they wouldn't have suggested doing the white paint on the trim if that wasn't their predilection. And so I have a feeling that if we move forward and approve this, that you're gonna come back in with another application that has it go into white anyway. So I think a more effective motion in this case to sort of expedite this would be to hold for revisions and now that they know what the board is after, what our concerns are. Would that be all right, Abby?
Yeah,
Knowing that we would approve the platinum gray trim and clabbered, he can go to his client and say, are you willing to do that? And if not, then he can come back and give examples of white trim on gray.
That's what I think should happen.
Right.
okay, motion to hold for revisions then.
Okay, all right, so it is a motion to hold for revisions. On the motion, Diane,
Aye.
thank you, Carrie,
Aye.
thank you, John. Thank you, Abby, on your motion.
Aye.
And I'm in favor, motion carries. Thank you, Chip Webster.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yeah. Okay, so myself, John, Diane, Val, Carrie.
Excellent. And if I can share the screen, that would be great.
Yep, go ahead.
All righty. So I'm going to start with some photos that I took, interestingly, yesterday morning. So I drove out to the site, and as you know, as everyone knows, this time of year, is when all the leaves are down and everything like that. So it's the most visible it would ever be. And you can see here, this is coming up. This is the driveway to the side. This is the vegetation on the site. And we have coming from the other side here. Did that switch photos when I did that?
No,
No?
No,
All right, so I have to stop and then reshare the photos. Okay. This is the view from just a little further down in front of the lot. Okay. And then the other thing that I also wanted to share is that there was an existing house here that we had an approval for a demo. And, okay, did that come up?
no, but I have pictures of that house.
Okay, so
Anybody
the,
wants it?
I'm gonna try this again, share screen. All right, how about now?
no. It says
Okay.
you're
So this is the pre-existing house that was there. It's larger than our proposed house. In fact, what I did, which was kind of fun, is I did an overlay of the two, which I will now share. Did that come up?
No,
Oh, gosh. Still not. Okay. Share screen. I apologize. I think I'm doing it right. How about now?
yep,
It's
Okay.
gonna come up. There it is.
All right. So this, I think this is this is the pre-existing house, which you couldn't even see. We're putting it in essentially the same place. We're just sliding a few feet over. And then this is our current proposal here with the red line showing the pre-existing house. So you can see we're shorter in height, we're shorter in length, and quite honestly, I think a more appropriate design. So I think that's a great little comparison right there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to now, if I can do this, 1 second, I'm going to share the actual application. Here we go. Okay, and then share a screen. All right, did that work? Did the site plan come up?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, so this is the existing house here. And then this is the new house. So it's essentially the same location. It's just it slid slightly to the west. This was our previous submission. I might also add that there were 3 members that were ready to approve, and there were a couple of members that weren't happy with the length. So we've reduced the overall length by 7 feet. We've reduced this ridge here by 12 feet. So you can see massive reductions, and the current design is smaller than what was previously existing, both in height and length. So I turn it over to the board for comments. Thank you.
If I have a question. I don't
Yes,
even know that.
go ahead.
What is the first floor height? The doors are 8 feet.
The first floor height's about 8.5, and the beam on that porch is, covering up the head casing. Is
Okay,
that, that's what, yeah.
Some of them are scaling at 9 too. I was just curious because we don't have any idea about that. Trying to lose height. and something.
Also, one thing I forgot to add, as you can see from the previous to now, we also removed a whole bunch of windows. So you can see we took out a lot of windows as well. Sorry, I just want to point that out.
Okay.
Thank you.
My other question is, this seems to be a trend with your plans, these below grade. I don't even know what you call them, ginormous walkouts. And I'm always curious how that works out with the overall height, but. I don't really understand it. It looks huge. Yeah, it's like 50 feet by 30 feet.
And what floor is it? Where is it
It's
on? Is it all under the deck or it's all?
No, it's on the other side. Look at the site plan. You see these two curved stairs, I believe.
Right, that's- yeah.
The basement walkout is on the rear.
Right.
And then it kind of terraces up.
Right, and there's a little deck above it.
Correct.
And that's on the north.
That's on the north. Okay.
Well, I'll go.
Okay, thank you, Terry.
I still think it's massive, but I do appreciate the, reducing of the glass on that front elevation. You're reducing in length, I see was on the secondary mass, not necessarily the tertiary end pieces, they got longer, the other pieces got shorter, the dormers got a little smaller, which is good. I do think your photograph representation and the red line drawing on top of this drawing helps put it into perspective. I think that was a good move on your part. But I really hope that the vegetation, oopsie, I'm so sorry. I hope the vegetation gets, either stays as is or gets enhanced to give yourself privacy and give the road, coverage from seeing this big building.
If I might add one thing, the vegetation is going to stay, and would be happy to make that a condition. The site, since the pre-existing house was already there, there's not going to have to be any site clearing or anything. It's already, the space is already existing for the house because of the previous house.
Thank you, Chip. Diane.
Yep. I appreciate it being made smaller. Which is the west elevation that faces down the harbor?
West elevation. Here we go.
Okay. West, that's good, because one thing we found out about the Campbell one was that at sunset, the reflection down the harbor to the town, which you could see like it was right out in the middle of the harbor, was imposing and quite overwhelming. So I'm glad to see your west one is a lot less. I think that's important that we
Hey,
get rid of.
Diane.
Yes,
This will really put your mind at ease. So the Gamble house faces west, towards town on the one side of, if you want to call Pocomo Bluff.
Right,
This house is facing the other direction. It's actually facing more towards the hall over. So it's
Right.
really, I mean, it's labeled as north, but it's really kind of facing east, northeast.
northeast maybe,
Yeah.
that's good. And I just, also, just to be picky, on the front door, you have glass panels going all the way down. I might suggest that they go down to the,
Oh,
to the paneling. So it's not all the way down, that's all. I don't think the 6 panel glass top and the side panel sort of go together, so you might want to
Yep.
have a panel down below.
Happy to revise that. It's a pleasure of the board.
I think otherwise, I think it fulfills all the requirements that are there. I appreciate the reduction in glasses, and unmulling windows. What is the over length?
The overall length, I've got it written right here. Is approximately 85 feet, which is, as I pointed out earlier, shorter than the
Yeah,
pre-existing house. Yeah.
I see that. So 85 feet, I guess, is more than what we usually like, but it's not absolutely overwhelming out there on the bluff. So at the moment, I would be approval of it.
okay. Thank you, Diane. Val Oliver, your turn.
I appreciate the reduction in the height to 28.7. I also appreciate the reduction from 91.6 to 85.1 side to side. I still think it's rather large compared to the house that's there. It might be the same width, but it's substantially larger the other way. And I do have concern with the roof walk being closed in. If it's is it gonna be painted white?
We could do that natural. To
The
weather.
legs seem awfully long to me. It's ginormous.
Happy to do it natural to weather, and in fact, if it would get us an approval, we could even remove it.
I'd be in favor of that.
I love it when people offer stuff like that. Okay, thank you, Val. You just got us a roof wall. Okay, John, it's your turn.
I got 2 counts here, that's why.
All right.
The length of the whole structure is 120 feet from, if you measure from the end of the, from day one, you measure it out from the wall where you
Yeah.
it's going 92 feet. So, the structure itself, both decks, second floor decks, extended more than the 8 feet. So, yeah. 8 feet, yeah.
Okay, that one, that is 8 feet. It's not a while. Yeah, it's 8 feet.
That's what I was checking, yeah. I mean, I think basically the house itself. Well, you can really look funny again, that's all I can say on them.
Right about that.
Is the chimney painted or is it brick?
Chip?
Whatever is the pleasure of the board. Natural brick, water struck red, or
Saying natural brick.
natural.
Yeah.
What's the trim color?
White to match pool house.
It's definitely.
Cool.
It's hard to be a horse. Yeah.
Other than doors, all four sides of it, is over 50% required for glass. Look, you can see it yourself. So maybe they ought to make a little change, some of the glass. You got triple, you got 8 of the 05. I would think quite a past rules and regulations.
Okay, John,
It's still 120 feet from one end to the other.
that is correct. Thank you, yes, yeah, okay. I am okay with this as long as we get rid of the roof wall. You may want to make a motion.
You're okay with it?
I'm okay with it. I like the idea of getting rid of the roof walk, and he offered it up, so I'm gonna grab it.
I'd make a motion to approve as submitted minus the roof walk.
And fixing your side lights, Diane?
Oh,
we can
yeah,
throw
and
that
fixing,
in.
and fixing the side lights on either side of the front door.
So
Okay. What?
I won't say anything. I'll wait. I'm happy to
Don't
make
say
that
anything.
front door a traditional 6-panel door also. It is to,
That would be great.
yeah,
Okay,
okay.
so that is the motion. That's through staff, removal of roof walk and change the side lights so that they don't go all the way down on, gosh, on Diane's motion.
Honestly,
What?
Okay, it's 28 feet.
We're in the middle of a motion. Okay, so on Dan's motion, Val,
Aye.
thank you, Carrie,
Aye.
thank you, John.
Yeah, well, I feel the comments, measure. I want everybody to know.
Yeah, no, we heard
They're
that.
not- The roof walk's been taken off the,
The peak of it is 28 feet, that's what it says.
Yes, we're aware of that.
Come over here and measure, come over here and measure.
We're in the middle of a motion,
28
John.
feet.
Correct.
28 feet.
Right.
Everybody knows.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so John's in favor of the motion, and let's see, Diane, on your motion?
aye.
Thank you, and I'm in favor too, motion carries. Thank you, Chip.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
All right,
Thank you.
Okay. Abby, you're chairing this one.
And remember, you want to?
yes, please.
Is Chuck here?
This side here.
Chuck is here. Greetings to all.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Chuck.
We were asked to make a few modifications, and I think two things were of big concern was, or the biggest concern was the proposed addition on the south side of the structure. And what I've given you here is the four views of the building, the existing, the first proposal, and then I have two options. And the board, as I read the notes, a number of board members questioned the concept of a hip roof. And so that's the bottom option. We strongly feel that the gabled option which is the third option down, is the one to go with. What I was able to do was reduce the width of that element projecting out about 2.5 feet. I dropped the ridge height about 19 inches because I was able to make it narrower across the width. And I also dropped the eave line. In making those changes, I was able to push that back from Ash Street, which is the primary elevation, so that it sets back about 5 feet. So that was the big change that happened there. I think it makes it much more subordinate to the original primary mass. At HSAB, the only topic that really came up were the 2 windows that we're proposing on that element. And that element had, in an attempt to use the older 9/9 windows, I had shown those being on that element on the gable end, but because of everything on the street is 6/6. And there was a point where HSAB felt that maybe the 9/9s would be appropriate on all elevations of that addition, and that we would use the oldest 2 that face the street. The others have to be replications. So that's the essential change there. On the north elevation, where we're adding that proposed deck, porch extension, actually not deck, but porch extension, the study really shows the difference between a hipped roof finish towards the street and just a gable end there. The one other major change I made there is I removed, above the new doors was a double window, and we're just saying, take the existing window and center it there so we create some symmetry. There was a window on the lower mass where there was an existing trellis. We were taking it away, adding the window. We're leaving that alone and not adding a window. So those are my revisions.
Thank you, Chuck.
Yes,
Holly?
yes. So first of all, I just wanted to mention that I sent these all to the board. These are just photos that I took on my own last week when I was taking a day off. There's some of you, I just think it's important to really get an understanding of the room that is available on the rear. This is a circa 1765 typical, well, that's a 5-bay built for Benjamin Barney Cooper. And that second story L in the rear was originally after 1834 and then rebuilt in the 1990s. Yes, HSAB did take a look at this on March 28th, and they did like the hipped version, and they also suggested reusing those existing 9/9 windows on the Ash Street side. I agree. I also did receive a comment from Brooke, who's a member of HSAB, who is not in attendance, but sent me comment. He said the revision option 1 or 2 is appropriate. The applicant successfully scaled down the massing. Side porch works in terms of scale, though contiguous porch roof plane, lacks some visual interest and could be helped with a grate somewhere similar to the existing north. Yet staff's going to have a little bit more comments on this. My previous comments still stand as far as the fact that the addition should not be proposed on the main block of this pre-Revolutionary War structure. Per building with Nancy in mind, it should be added to the rear only, near that off of that 1990s portion that was rebuilt. The outdoor shower location facing the street is also not appropriate, understanding that this house is flanked by 2 main thoroughfares within this section of Wesco Acres plots. The addition to the south side is best served on the rear without hindering the historic integrity of the historic main block. The French doors within the main block are also not appropriate and will be visible. The 2 sets of French doors are actually not necessary to have 2. Again, I just want to reiterate that the integrity of a historic building, the facade of a historic building should be maintained. Any addition to a historic house should be extended from the rear or side wall and kept conspicuous as possible. Such additions should be harmonized with the massing, style, and details of the original house. Further, their bulk should not overwhelm the original building size. The proposed 2-story addition off the main block is inappropriate. So those are my comments and still staying as previous. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Holly. Stephen, are you there? We can start with Ms. Oliver. Maybe, or No. Maybe Diane's ready.
I'm here.
Would you like to start?
Yeah, I'll start. I will add a few and then work from what other people say. I appreciate the new edition being dropped down. I think that's important to reduce its imposing facade. And I don't seem to have a problem with the addition of the little porch on the left-hand side and the arbor relocated. If I could see another thing, this is option one. I appreciate the windows being changed on the second floor. And at this point, we're going with 6/6s, or is this not the 9/9 area?
There's only one area that's 9/9, that's on the side of the addition,
Okay,
south.
south. Okay, well, I've got north. So, east. I think on this option one is the addition higher than I just saw it on the front of the building? It looks higher. It looks like it's to the chimney. It would
is
be-
not.
It is not any higher, right?
It is not.
Chuck?
They're identical.
Okay, it just looks that way. So this is where those are, I don't mind those windows. Because lots of houses have different windows, 2/2s to 6/6s. So that I'm okay with that. So the south elevation looks, what are those two fences for, Chuck?
Those screen the air conditioning units that are currently out there, and there's some screening. I don't show it on the existing south, but there's a shed and other screening there, but that's what they screen as the AC units that would.
Okay, and then that's supposed to be a shower?
And that yes, and that shower is in exactly the same location the existing shower is in now. I don't show it on the south because the shed and some of those other elements that are tucked in close cloud that actual south. You can't see it. So I'm showing the actual south elevation, but on the site plan, you can see that there's that shed and an outdoor shower. All those elements are all existing there. The AC units sit there. And it shows up on the site plan.
Is that visible, not visible from, what? It's not visible from Ash Lane.
The outdoor shower is existing outdoor shower is visible from both Ash Street and Ash Lane.
Yeah,
And I actually gave you some new photos that shows those views. There it is. There's the shed. There's the screening. We lost it. And I actually took wintertime photos with all the foliage off, so you can. So there's the shed. The shower is on the left-hand side of that. There's some plant, and then the other screening is the existing AC screening that's there. Right there.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah. So and that's the little shed that's going.
Correct.
Right. Well, and it's not part of our concern. It looks like there was a ladder or something going up the roof.
They were pressure washing the roof.
That's not being contemplated. Well.
Is that it, Diane?
If you're going to, I guess it would fit in. Yeah, for now it is.
All right, thanks, Diane. Val?
I appreciate the change in width. That's awesome. And dropping the eave line down so that it is more subordinate. It is too bad it can't push back a little farther off the street. But I do appreciate the changes. I like the hip roof on the porch, but not the hip roof on the major addition. So I guess it would be a combo of option 1 and 2. And just to speak to the outdoor shower, the shower is actually on the shed right now that's facing the street and closer to the street. So, oh no, it's not closer, but anyway, that's what I have for now.
No, thank you. Stephen?
Thanks, Madam Chair. Yeah, I think anything we can do to minimize the additions, perhaps even rebate them a little further back from the street on the front side, which I guess would be the west elevation. But the hip roofs, I think, make a big difference. It kind of reminds me of, I think it's 41 India Street. That one, I think it's like the bunker house or something. But in any event, that's more, I think the hip roofs are more appropriate. And, where I'm having some difficulty is with the extension of the porch as viewed from the west elevation. I think that it's too wide left to right. It's just a substantial element that covers a lot of linear feet, and I think that needs to be taken down, perhaps by creating a jog in it. Something needs to be done there. I have no concerns about the fenestration. I appreciate the changes. Chuck, I appreciate the fact that you provided us with some options to view. I think that was very helpful. And I think overall it could be very successful, but for that deck area. And it's not reminiscent of the historical setting. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen. John?
Thank you. Yes. Proposed west elevation, which is facing the street. That's the original submission. Now okay. Whatever I just look at here is suitable for the neighborhood as the other houses in the immediate surroundings, so 3 blocks around. It's all suitable, as far as I'm concerned. So they take it from there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, John. So I was thinking about what Stephen said about that. I like the hip on the north side there on the porch. Maybe you could stop it just before that far back door. It would sort of make it not so long. And I appreciate the bringing in the right side massing, and I think it should be 6/6 to match the front. Maybe you could have put a shrub, a lilac bush specifically would be nice in front of the shower. And that's what I've got. And what would we like to do? Would we like to see this one more time, or does anyone want to?
Make a motion to hold for a visit.
Okay, I'm hearing that. So on Diane's motion, Val?
Aye.
Stephen?
Aye.
John, to hold for a few revisions?
Aye.
And I am an aye. And Diane on your motion?
Aye.
Aye. Great, thank you.
Can I,
Yeah,
I think
could I get a clarification on the one addition as to whether you prefer the hip roof or the gabled roof?
Let's go around the table. Val, on the hip or the gable?
I like the gable, but I don't mind on the big addition. I like the hip on the porch.
Okay.
Thank you.
Diane?
I'm agree with Val.
Okay. And Stephen?
I actually prefer the hip. I think it helps to diminish the presence of the addition.
John? Hip or gable? On the far right, Mass.
Oh, he's off that now.
Oh, he,
He's moving on to this.
That's helpful. Thank you.
and by the way, I was for the gable on the side and not the hip, so maybe you might have a dead heat.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Chuck. Bye-bye. Your turn.
Hey, yeah, nice to see you all. So what do? I don't know. Do I get up? Do I can sit there? You can sit on the smart board. Make it easy. You can sit
Oh, it's
here
something
and
you could
see.
tell us.
It should be easy. I don't even need to sit down.
Looks like you've reduced the length.
Exactly. So the pool got sliding. So good afternoon.
There you go.
So the main comment was to slide a little bit closer to the pool. So I slided 3 feet.
To the house.
To the house, I'm sorry, and eliminate some hardscape. So I practically took the entire side of the farther side, which would be opposite of the main house. All that hardscape is gone. So I really just kept that a little portion of the patio directly attached to the pergola and the guest house kind of like this.
And
That's
so
it.
what is that, lawn?
I'm sorry.
Is it lawn? What's?
Yeah, it's lawn. Yes, that's
Okay.
correct. I'm sorry.
So it was patio and
Was-
now it's lawn.
Yeah, you can see the,
I see the big red rectangle,
On
but that was
the-
the pool.
if you
But it
go
doesn't show the
on
pool
the,
house.
yeah, okay, so on the bottom, you can see initial filed version. So going from the top and then from the left to right. So the left on the bottom is the one which was filed previously, and then the next to it is the first application. So you can see how it's involved.
Cool. Okay.
All right, so you can see clearly where the patio was there, it's not there. The I
No,
two.
but your question, Val, was about the pool.
The cabana, yeah.
Yeah, and that's gone. That will come back.
Oh, I see. So you're not
Yeah,
showing it
yeah.
yet.
Why?
Okay.
Because it's
It
part
just
of,
got approved.
oh, it's gonna, well, I filed, I guess, as, well, yeah, because when we were going, I came with the guest house and the cabana wasn't on the agenda yet, so they must have filed, but we got it approved on the new business and I didn't switch the plans. So I don't even know it was approved, so thank you for letting me know, but we didn't get the memo. Anyhow, yeah,
All right. Everybody ready?
I can go.
You're all set, right?
I hope so.
Abby?
So, I feel that, off Austin Lock Way with the driveway coming right in at the, angle of the hardscaping, I find it awkward and not a good sort of way to proceed into the house. And I still think the pool is like right in that line of fire, so I would prefer to have that pool back into the site and closer to the house so that if you're going to continue with this design of entering into like a pergola hardscape area instead of a front door, you definitely will not see that pool or the pool area. So that's, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Abby. Diane, you ready?
Yep, I can't, it disappears off my thing. In the, looking at the pool, just beside the pool on the left-hand side are 3 lines going out. What are those?
The steps. It looks like a
The
fork,
steps.
Diane. You're thinking
Yeah.
of a fork, a tuning fork, that's steps. It's
Coming-
like grass steps with, granite to hold it, to retain it.
Okay, coming down,
Oh,
Coming
they're
down
coming,
from-
yeah, they're going down.
Yeah.
They're
okay.
going down to the pool from the grade around the house, yes.
Why, I was wondering why the pool could not move into where that patio is, which would give you an easier non-view from the north. If you have all that patio, put the patio on the other side. At least on this side, you got a guest house and the pagoda and everything else to cover the pool. And I would leave the whole north side or whatever it is free. If you move the pool in and got rid of that patio, I think it would be a better location for the pool. And those steps don't have to be that wide I mean, it doesn't say once you take a step on them, you have to go to the pool. It brings you down to the lawn area. And so that's what I would suggest.
Okay, Diane, thank you.
Is it one other thing that comes off my picture? Is there a driveway coming in from Caroline Way?
No,
No, just Austin Lock.
Okay. Okay. I couldn't see
At the
where those
corner.
bubbly green lines are going. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Val, your turn.
I'm wondering about the wall. If that's necessary still, if there's no patio.
The wall between the house and the pool?
No, the wall on the other side.
Oh, the 24 inch.
If I may just comment,
Yeah, go
would
ahead.
you like me to answer that?
Yeah,
Because we try to keep the existing vegetation to disturbance to the bare minimum. So if I can grade it and go a little bit farther with the clearing, of course, I can definitely grade it. And I can eliminate the portion along this would be like the opposite of the house, right? That part.
Yeah, that's. what
Yeah,
she
no,
said.
I would be happy to do it.
Okay.
I struggle with these. I just don't understand if there's topographical changes, why we have those. I just don't get it, but I do agree with Diane. I think the pool, if it could be tucked in as close to the main house as possible, then you wouldn't really notice if there's just a big vista of vegetation. And what is this fence? Because the fence
It's
facing
down-
the driveway?
Detail is down.
It's a natural to better picket fence and
It's
it's
a-
hauling it onto the bottom of
And
the
it
thing.
likes to.
So it's only,
It's 3 feet. It's not per code, it's just like with line closure. to like
okay,
really
so
have-
that's not really gonna screen anything coming this way.
But there's still planted vegetation, low one, of course. But again, I would not remind this pool is sunken 18 inches to really enhance the screening. So the pool is lower, then we have the little retaining, then we have a vegetation, then we have a fence, we have another vegetation. So it's layered landscape, and you ask me to keep it low, not to obstruct any views and really fit into the existing. So I'm just using everything that doesn't get any higher than 3 to 4 feet. Again, the pool is 18 inches
Mhm.
below that.
Yeah. I've got nothing. I still think it's too much, but
You are allowed to say that,
yeah.
you know. Okay. All right, so you heard that call, right? John, your turn.
Yes, thank you. I have a question. This blue wrapping around basically the backyard of the main house. There's a guest house over here. Previously proposed guest house. What is the blue describing here?
You mean the blue bubble? This,
Wait, I don't know. What's the question? Somebody. Yeah,
this one, John?
right.
That's just showing where she's proposing to change things.
They
So
changed it.
inside of that, she's moved the pool around a few times. She's got some retaining shear that drops down to the pool.
Oh, okay.
Those are-
Where does it show what she's putting here? I can't. The description of the blue, there's no description, like these things here.
Those are steps. Those are steps down. Yes, see, it says stone risers in landscape.
It's, yes. Okay. Getting confused on this. This is stone wall.
So there's a stone wall proposed right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Where is the description of this blue?
You mean this blue, right?
Right.
Well, that's just showing you the area that she's applying for. That she's changed.
Sorry, 5 says no.
Correct. Mirka, you don't have to please me on this one. I think you've made a number of changes that are all positive. I think that the takeaway would be, I think we're looking at more screening on that exposed area when you pull in the driveway. And you've got your 3-foot fence, I believe, between the 3-foot fence and the vegetation, which doesn't really show very clearly, so that's not working to your benefit, you know, the vegetation by the fence. And the fact that it's stepped down 18 inches, I think all those things are helping to basically eradicate the view of this from Austin Lock Way or Caroline Way. So if you make any changes, it'd be to get other people on board with that idea. Okay, what should we do with this? Yes, Abby, go ahead.
Did you ever think about going off Caroline Way?
There's a septic, the entire front lawn, so. Yeah,
What's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion to hold for revision
Okay, Diane.
about that pool and stuff.
Okay, Diana. I don't know. I think it's just showing. Okay, so Diane has made a motion to hold for revision. On that motion, Abby,
Aye.
thank you, Val,
May I
John. Just one second. John on the vote, on the motion. In favor of holding for revisions? Okay, and Diane on your motion?
Aye,
Very good, and I'm in favor, motion carries. Okay,
can I
so,
just clarify? I just want to clarify, so I understand.
but Abby just said, make sure that you know to show,
So I wanna
Yes.
show it because it's there, it shows then, and again, it's maybe like just confusing.
well, it's
Go
funny because
because
when we
if it-
look at this plan, it
It's hard to
doesn't
see,
show
but
up at all.
up to this point, I was making sure you can see it on the
Okay,
screen, because
all right.
if I do
Well,
it harder, then it's too
Just
black.
make sure it shows up
and
on
you
our
react,
paper plan.
And then can you zoom out, Holy Grace?
Not too much time here.
I know, I don't want to, but I just feel I'm going in the circles and I'm just
No,
like
no.
getting a little frustrated, and I really want to understand
I
what
feel
is
your
the
pain.
direction. Can you zoom out full plan, please? Just want to show, because the plans are shown, I believe so, I have the shown plans on the plan. Right? Yeah, so I'm also showing which plants we are using. Very low natural vegetation within. So I feel like I'm giving you all the informations.
You know what
Well,
you should do?
I think
You
what
should
I'm
do a site
struggling with-
section that shows all
Right.
this, the stepping down and the fence and all that. All the things that have been discussed, you should show in a site section that will, I'm certain will demonstrate how
Okay.
low the pool is.
Because we discussed it and you were okay, the only was the amount of hardscape on the last submission, and I really actually took 60% of the hardscape away from the
Yeah.
previous filing.
Right.
And I moved the pool closer to the house, so I feel like I can be closing, of course I can move it close, but I already, these people have no patio, right? I'm already giving him everything
Oh,
away.
the poor thing.
I think that's kind of like, I'm comments with the HTC concerns. However, I just feel like it's the directions are not clear to me. Less of the hardscape and.
Less
pool
is
even-
more is the direction, and I'm sorry, we didn't understand it was sunken. There's nothing that shows us that.
I am referring to 24 inches wall. This is like the third time I'm in front of you. This been always, it's
Mirka, is the wall up or is the
Okay.
wall down?
Val,
That's
Val,
what we
Val,
don't know.
sunken means sunken.
In landscape stuff where there's change of grade, sections through the site are so helpful in terms of people understanding how the grading is being dealt with. It's almost
Right,
like
yeah, and
you
I
should just do a
apologize.
preemptive strike and
Yeah.
just do it without us asking, because
Yeah.
it really clarifies things.
And you're correct, but I was the third time, so I kind of assume like I was presenting
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
and
But
Thank you for your time.
thanks, tell your client, thanks for revising things. The reduction in hardscape was good. Okay, bye. Okay, 9 Falmouth Avenue.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what's your name?
Josiah Newman here, representing Ocean Heath and 9 Falmouth.
Sorry, Josiah, I didn't see you.
That's okay.
Okay, so your board on this is myself, Abby, John, Diane, Stephen, all of whom are here. Go ahead, Josiah.
Okay, great. Just a recap of concerns. The decks exceeded 8 feet off the building. Asked to simplify fenestration. I believe the comment was reduce the alphabet. In doing so, we removed 4 of the windows from our window schedule. The current A and B windows are replacing the main existing windows on the house. The proposed C window is replacing the second floor crank windows to a double hung, slightly larger, in line with what we're trying to propose. We reduced the decks off the south and west elevations back to 8 feet. In doing so, it actually reduced the existing post line on the first floor deck back towards the building by about 1'8". You can see this best on probably the first and second floor plans in red line where we're bringing the west elevation deck back. We've eliminated all second floor double doors and reduced them to single doors. We changed our front door back from a proposed 4-light to a 6-panel solid front and side doors. The only difference is on the front door, we are asking for side lights. We reduced and removed
the doors.
yes, solid wooden door. We reduced and removed the corner deck on the east side of the south elevation entirely. And we still propose that the exterior stair be tucked on the inside of the southeast elevation instead of where it was originally approved, which is on the west elevation for the neighbors and public view.
Okay. Is that it?
Thank you. Yes, I think so. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, folks.
I'll go.
That's you, Stephen.
There.
All right, go.
I appreciate the attempted changes, but excuse me, the extent of the deck work, in particular on the second floor and the fenestrations, I think are inappropriate. They'll be highly visible. They're kind of overwhelming. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So it's just about the depth, right? Stephen, for you?
Yeah, well, I think it's on the, yeah, well,
Extent of depths.
extent of decks and the extent of fenestration.
Oh, okay, and extent of penetration. Okay, thank you, Stephen. Short and sweet, love it. Okay, let's see. Who's next here? Abby, go.
I can say ditto to Stephen's thoughts. And I do appreciate the change from. Do I appreciate that?
Yes, you do.
The 2/2s from the
Oh,
6/6, I'm not sure, that does, it's just that the way they're drawn in the existing looks, they just look odd, so I can't really get a,
part of it's
Yeah,
drafting.
but I think it's obviously an upside down house, but I think you're gonna get a view of the water. I don't think you need that many windows, if you could minimize those somehow. It's an awfully good looking building for somewhere else, but it's Cisco.
It's a honey bun.
No, but the new fenestrations
Oh,
are sort of
Thought you
over
used
the
about the
top,
house.
so. So anyway,
Thank you.
Okay, so concerns similar to those of
Yeah.
Stephen.
absolutely.
All right, Diane, your turn.
Okay. I think I appreciate that on the south elevation that has the deck has been brought in. I would like to see the windows reduced, as I believe Val said. There's too many windows all over the place. There are a lot in that south elevation. And I'm sure the people who had the house before looked at the same view, but maybe didn't need as many windows as you have in the south elevation. If I could see another elevation or two, it would be good. Okay, this again is a question of all those windows, mulled out of all that. Again, it is not. And can that staircase from the second floor go along the north, or does it have to be the east?
My only thought on that is if we moved it to the north elevation, it'd be highly visible for all the neighbors. I
It
think,
would be.
I
Okay,
think if,
no, it makes sense. I didn't know because I only get one drawing at a time. So let's see the north.
aside from the window change, there's really no change to the north.
No, no. No, I don't. So the other, I've seen the east, north, and west, I believe. West, I've seen them all. I appreciate the reduction. I guess the 2/2s are okay. And that little deck around the chimney and the front door, I guess, is gone. So you've got those windows coming all the way down, or doors coming all the way down. Which one is the front door?
Front door is on the south elevation.
Okay, that's the one that you want the side lights.
Yes.
He's showing them, yeah, there
Okay.
it is. Side lights are in blue.
Okay, that's good. I don't think it needs to be as formal as having blanked off on the bottom. I don't know, I don't mind that front door. So, and is that a staircase right next to the front door?
Yes, that's where we're proposing it tucked along that side of, which you can see on the east elevation.
Right, I was wondering, I'm not sure that it should be right next to the front door on the south elevation, but perhaps somebody else has a better thing, and I would reduce the number of windows. You don't have to have all those bulb windows up on the second floor. And a door going out to the deck I can see, but I think the fenestration needs to be reduced.
Okay.
If it can be. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Diane. John, your turn.
Gonna-
John, your turn.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Good review.
Uh-oh. Josiah, put on your
Yes.
seatbelt. Be a bumpy ride.
Yeah. Nine, yeah. This is the one we're talking about.
Yes, 9 Falmouth.
9 Falmouth Avenue. Right here.
No. These are all photographs of buildings that are in the neighborhood. No, exactly, because look, see, here's them. This is that application. Those numbers correspond to the houses by the numbers. That's what that's all. It's showing you the rest of Cisco, basically. Okay?
Okay, this is number 1, right?
Well, no, number 1 is the next door neighbor. All of these numbers, all of these houses are not the house. The house is here. These are the neighbors, okay?
Okay, you're 9 Falmouth Avenue, that's fine.
Well, I know, but it's just a coincidence that 9 is the house that is right there. That's 9.
All right, Oh.
You guys still there?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hanging in there.
It's John.
Oh, I couldn't hear anything. I thought I might have lost sound.
No.
I have trouble breathing.
John is deliberating.
Did you say you're having trouble breathing, John?
All right. That's a lot of it. It takes time to measure out. Looking at it, you know that it's over
Well,
the 50%.
the decking, you're not gonna be the only person who has a problem with the decking. I think basically everybody has a problem with the
Right,
amount of
there's a
decking.
big problem with this one, the
Yeah.
decking and the stairs. Where they come down, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe they're hidden, I don't know, but it's just. You can go ahead, but I'll be measuring. Just get all of that.
Okay, but John, I think we're gonna be moving, I'm certain that we're gonna be moving for revisions that would include a reduction in the amount of decking. Almost positive.
No, we haven't mentioned that yet. That's all.
No, it's been mentioned, and it's gonna be mentioned by me next. So are you all set?
You go ahead,
All right.
I'll go ahead.
Okay, so I just said it. I, like a lot of the other board members, think that there's a massive amount of decking here that can be pared back. Windows, I'm okay with. There's all kinds of windows out there right now, so I'm fine with that part of it. So should we move?
All
for-
for revisions.
Yeah, okay, so Stephen has made a motion to hold for revisions. On that motion, Diane,
Aye.
thank you, Abby,
Aye.
thank you, John.
Yes.
That's holding for revisions, thank you. Stephen, on your motion?
Aye.
Very good, and I'm in favor, motion carries. Thanks, Josiah.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
I'm gonna have to come back and measure that.
You can, but he's gonna make it smaller anyway. So we'll
Good, okay.
get it down to where you can be comfortable. Okay, so Abby, you chair the next one. Read Weatherly.
Yes. Indeed I do.
It's me. Plainman?
Yeah.
Oh, come on up.
Hello,
Hi.
my name is Kwame. I'm presenting myself and my family. We proposing building a second dwelling on Weatherly Place. The first time the board sent me back with some recommendations. The first one was I had like 4 large panels that were on the first floor. They weren't a door. I think everybody thought it's a door, but they were just stationary panels. I changed them to our windows, also ungave them for the board's recommendation. Also, the second floor had gained triple windows altogether. That was one of the recommendations to separate them. And the third recommendation was to shrink the shed dormer, which made the building look very long and also like look very squarish. I tried to shrink it, and this is gonna be my kids' rooms and all that. That's why I changed it to what people call sponsored dormer and on a tacky dormer. And this is actually, if you look down Weatherly, all you see on the street is gable ends. So I think it's more suitable. I don't know if that's the liking of the board or not. And I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Has the board had enough time to take it all in?
Yeah, I think when we asked for a reduction in the shed dormer, it was to break it up into more than one. So this is still the same width. Now it just draws more attention to itself with the gables. I'm almost inclined to go back to the shed. But I think the issue is that you have these windows that are sort of grouped together and then nothing in the middle, and it kind of just draws your eye like, what the heck happened there? Can you put a window in the middle? And I know it's a bathroom, but you could do a fake window.
Window in the middle,
Or break them up into two.
I can do 2 doubles if that's too.
No, I mean 2 dormers.
That's gonna be,
That would mix the bathroom,
Well, they'd have to reconfigure. No, that was it. It's just
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
top dormer. I love what you did down below.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's not much. Let's see, Diane.
Yeah. I think as Abby has said, that the dormer is too wide. It goes all the way along the whole roof line, and it hangs out very noticeable on the west elevation and also on the east. If they were brought into smaller dormers, I don't know what the house plan is inside, but if you had smaller dormers and brought the cheeks in so that the dormer was tight, I would put 2 individual dormers, not a great long one. I don't think it's attractive with the house. I don't have a problem with the rest of it. I just would like to see that brought in, separated, and the dormers made smaller. And relieving some of the space on the roof.
Thank you,
That's it.
Diane. Thank you. John,
Yeah,
what do you think of the proposed?
thank you, okay. I'll say that there is visibility of this from Waverly Place.
Oh, yeah.
We all know that. Yeah, usually, generally, you put the smaller windows on the second floor and the larger one, taller one, on the first floor. That's been a custom for a long time. Okay, that should be looked into. And the other is the front door, you got more glass than wood. Change it to a different type door.
Sure.
Measure. Okay. Now you have a, okay, the minimum one, shed roof is a 4-inch thick. You have one here. This is a 3.5. But they can make it a 4-inch. I don't think it'd be a great problem. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I think it's me, and I agree with that, maybe going back to the shed, but I do like the newly proposed windows on the first floor, the A1s, instead of the long windows that look kind of red as French doors. These read more like windows. So there, we have a mixed bag here.
No, I think I could make a,
Okay, great, I would love that. What do you got, Val?
I think if you can bring the shed dormer in a foot on each side and go back to the shed dormer, because I think it's a lot more subtle. The space has been reduced in the middle, which is great. You've changed the windows on the first floor. I guess I'd make a motion to take the dormer in a foot on each side, go back to a shed. That's my motion.
is that so close to the start?
Just through staff.
And those on the first floor. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so that's Val's motion. On Val's motion, Diane.
Aye.
Going back to, okay, thank you. John, Aye, and Val,
Aye.
and on the motion?
Hi.
And I'm an aye.
Thank you.
You make the move.
Val,
3 times.
yep. John, wasn't actually paying attention. Was that to approve it?
Yes.
No, yeah,
Yes,
on the
through
staff,
staff,
yeah.
going back to a shed dormer,
Maybe storage.
Some kind of changes.
making the dormer 2 feet.
Yeah. No, yes.
Yeah, but I didn't include that because I didn't agree with it.
No.
No, the door's fine. Just the dormer.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
There you go.
So I'm next.
Bottle of jelly.
But so, it's, what time is it?
Bottle of jelly.
So we got 3 minutes. It's
Oh,
up to you guys.
I think
3 minutes.
yours is gonna be long, mine's gonna be super fast. So you
Uh.
just jump over. Just approve mine. We'll be out of here.
Checking things off.
what time is it?
It's 2:27.
What do you want to do?
I don't care. Sarah is here. You're here for one, right?
Yeah, sorry. I figured you could yell at me in person this
Wait,
No
32
yelling,
Jefferson is
I
the
lost
one
control.
that- Oh, yeah, no, I think that's,
Ethan,
Huh?
did you go to SU? So did I. Somebody
Yeah.
just told me.
Okay, hey,
that.
all right.
So,
Let's just do it. Let's just go in
Let's
order.
do both of them.
Do-
I mean,
We can
Sarah's
do-
been sitting here the whole
I
time.
don't care.
We can do
Whatever
both
you
of them.
guys want to do, I'm happy to come back. I'm happy to go away.
and I'm not, like, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Do it now, if you want to do it now, it's fine.
Let's just finish that.
No, you're ready, not just yet. Okay,
So are we
we'll let
doing
you
that?
know.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Abby's chair in this one.
What number?
And you're
This,
presenting?
John, is 32 Jefferson. Oh, I gotta move.
Is Lisa coming?
No, it's me. I
Okay.
think I.
82 Jefferson.
32.
32 Jefferson, John.
Oh, I'm not on it, so I guess I can go.
Uh,
Oh, you recused.
That's because, yeah, I was maybe taking the college, so I thought. I'll stay and see what happens.
Yeah, there might be fist fights.
Come on. Yes, see. 229. Start talking.
Yeah, no,
229.
I'll try and make this quick. Okay, so,
I'm not on it.
Here were the things. I'm looking for the sheet that has all the revisions. We made the windows in the 3rd floor dormer smaller. That smaller as in less tall. That allowed us to push the dormers further back. We changed the configuration of the entry door. And the 1.5-story side wing, somebody had made the comment, and frankly, I wasn't paying attention, about the meeting rail. So we moved the mass of that around so that we were able to get the meeting rail to line up with the eaves. I think that, oh, there was another thing that sort of troubled me. We showed all this glazing on the north elevation, but those are just those infill panels that a lot of the houses have on, up on the bluff. And we took those off because it was giving this sort of deceptive idea that that was, you know, all sunroom or something like that, which it's not, it's just a porch. I think that's it.
Ray, did you change the sidelights on the other, on the side of the front?
Yes.
Because it looks the same. Yeah. It looks like they're on these windows or something.
Can I just read this? Revised front door, reduced width of Oh, reduce the width of the side light and add a frontage piece. That's the description. So in terms of their light configuration, they've just gotten narrower. Okay.
All right, who would like to go first?
I do have,
Oh,
I do have
Paula,
that's
please.
not a
Sorry.
problem. So this is a 1980s structure, It actually has an HDC survey about that. HSAB took a look at this on March 28th. They did have comments. They said that the front door side lights are too wide and read as a door panel rather than side lights. Shingling end sections of balcony would soften the look and help conceal the upper doors. The chimney is oddly drawn, prefer to mimic the original. Third floor dormers still feel too large, especially when seen in profile. The mold windows create too large a glazing surface at that height. That would look much more traditional with narrower single window gable dormers. HSAB respectively request revisions, if you're so inclined. I did receive a comment from Brooke, who was not in attendance then. He said that scaled out dormers are helpful, but still feel overwhelming. I think they need to be pinched and pushed. Building feels like it belongs a little more within the neighborhood context than previously, but there is still some downscaling that would be helpful. Dormer windows are not necessarily for egress, as C window will perform that function and could be smaller. Those are the comments, Madam Chair.
What was number 2? The second one, the second point you made?
Oh.
Doors
part.
The doors on the second floor, you said something about softening them.
Oh, the railing on the second. floor.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, on the sides of the
Right
deck.
here.
That's,
Yeah.
that's what I took from that. and I
Yeah.
don't think we did anything.
All right, so, Coombs, Thornwell, let's start with you, Carrie.
Okay.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay,
Sorry, I forgot that you were.
That's all right. My comments remain really the same as they have been all along. I agree with the comments from HSAB and appreciate them. Appreciate the changes. Still really concerned about the height. I think it's too tall for that location moving down over Jefferson. I don't know if you were able to go out and do a site visit, but it really is sitting right up here on the hill and moving down.
So originally it was 29. It's 29.7.
The height.
The existing-
has not changed.
30 feet.
I mean, the height has changed from the existing building.
Yeah, how much?
The existing is busy.
So we nailed strapping up on either side of the existing gable to show that. And basically, if you look at any of the photographs, the strapping comes to about the height of the chimney where it is right now.
Okay, so it's changed to feet. Okay, all right, we'll take that into consideration. So Carrie, would you like to start, please?
Sure. I personally think the addition of porches wrapping around helps really ground it from the stark stand up straight of what exists. Although the roof is a little taller, I think what's bringing your eye up there are these large dormers. And I agree with HSAB that I think singles with little gable roofs would be more in keeping and would reduce them down so much that it would help a ton. But I appreciate all the other changes, and I do think these could be a little narrower, maybe the width of just one window. I mean, the way they're drawn. Maybe that's the frontispiece that you're talking about, that's going beyond the post. Maybe just bring that in a little bit. I don't know, but if those side lights are the width of one half of the window, I think that's fine. I've always had an issue with the dormers, and they keep coming in a little bit, but I still think they need to come in more.
And what about the front door side lights?
I just said that.
Oh, you just said that. Okay, sorry. John?
That's all I got.
My comment, the system self elevation. Sorry. Is there anyway?
What's that? No comment. Okay, so, I agree with H. and Carrie. I think that the dormers on the third floor are still a little bit overwhelming for me. They bring your eye up there instead of all the beauty you made down here. I would make the side lights a little more traditional. I love the idea of all that glass, but I think actually they were better when they had panes. I think I'm okay with the height. 3 feet to a renovation to me is okay. On the chimney going to this configuration, I kind of like what you've proposed. So I think we're calling for just a few minor changes.
Oh,
The
Can I
dormer.
speak?
yeah, right.
Abby?
Oh, Diana, sorry. I
Abby,
didn't see-
could I-
Yes. Coombs, yes.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Diane.
I'm on there.
Sorry.
I think the dormers on the third floor are too heavy. I would like to see them as gables or smaller down. They are, your eye runs along the roof and then down to that side one, and it runs it off. I think I don't have much of a problem with the rest of it, but that is heavy, and I'm sure it's been mentioned that the side lights on the front door should be reduced sort of in half size. And the other thing I would just like to mention, because if I could get there, I would, but the town is not able to get me there. So if we could do a little less moving around of the pages, I could hear what you were saying. There's nothing I can do, but it gets hard to hear when people are opening and shutting the drawings. I'm trying to listen to you. I don't mean to complain, but
No,
it's
no, well, we
frustrating.
miss you, Diane, wish you were here. But we will try to crinkle less. What do we want to do with this? Do we want to,
Can I ask you a question? Anna?
yeah,
About the side lights, you said more traditional. Would that mean like introducing a vertical piece?
I think just smaller, just, I mean, they look like
You mean
windows.
narrower?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
Right.
narrower.
okay, that's not a problem.
and do you want to come back with revisions of the?
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to ask you guys would the preference really be for gable dormers
Mhm.
as opposed to sheds?
I am.
Okay.
I'm a shed. I'm a shed.
Yeah, I mean, the sheds to me seem calm.
Yeah,
Gables are
I think
more
gables
aggressive.
are gonna be like peaky and like, look at me.
I think gables
Yeah.
are more
I
traditional.
think shed,
But single windows or
Well,
reduced
I mean, I think the
shorter?
assumption at this point is single windows,
Oh.
whether it's shed
Oh, well,
or
that's a
gable.
whole different thing. If little dog houses up
But
there.
they should just be, the windows should at least be just smaller. I mean, they're almost the same size as down below, and that just seems like,
On the second floor.
yeah.
I thought so too.
Madam Chairman,
Yes,
I'd like to make a comment, an additional comment. I think
You made no comments before, John.
I'm sorry,
I'm kidding. You didn't make any comments before. Go ahead.
I would say for approval, if it was me, although I said no comment, is the dormers should be shorter and the side lights on the front door are a problem. Thank you.
Okay.
yeah, I think that we had, yeah. So do you want to make revisions on this, or do you want to?
Yeah, I think that's where we are.
I think, yeah, okay, so do I hear a motion?
Look at both the gable.
make a
and
motion.
Did you say draw a shape, gable and
Just
shed?
single with gables.
I'm actually gonna do that just for my
Just-
own purposes.
yeah, I
to
just wanna see it
how they
too.
look.
Yeah, I didn't know you were talking about unganging them. So whose motion was that? Diane? On Diane's motion,
Yeah.
hold revisions. John?
Yes,
Hi.
Carrie? Abby? Yes. Diane? On your motion?
Yes,
Thank you.
okay.
Uh, Did we want to take care of this very?
Yeah,
briefly,
let's
Dr.
do
Meyer,
it.
on that?
I can do
Probably will be
everything really
quick.
fast, because I looked at it
Pole,
and I have
Camp,
an idea.
McLaughlin, Coombs, Thornwell.
Great,
I'm not on
okay.
that one either.
I also
Okay.
remember this is way in the middle of nowhere. It's
Right,
not
so
we're gonna do
I think what was hanging everybody up last time was we had glass, a lot of glass in this sort of skirt. We've taken out like the
Yeah.
corner windows. There was one remaining window, so just bear with us on that. But again, visibility is, if at all, like.
That's what I had forgotten
I
last time.
had a
This
quick
one is
question
like-
on that, though.
Sorry.
When that sort of thing that goes out this new thing, is that living space in there? Like-
There is a little wall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so the windows were in that.
in the law.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I kind of like that now, because I didn't understand it before, but now it's like it's called something like a Belvedere or something, right?
Tugboat.
When you stick it out like that and then you have windows.
We may come back for more windows in the future, but right now we just want to keep the framing going. So
Yeah.
there's no problem with the roof wall
Yeah.
and the single window.
I'm kind of going back to the first rendition. That had the windows in it. So, that's me.
I forgot about that when we were looking
Yeah.
at it before. It was so strange.
I'm ready to go when John's ready.
Abby, why don't you-
Okay, I prefer actually the
We can go back to that, Joan, if it's that.
rendition, and I didn't understand it before, and I'm sorry that I made you do all that.
No.
Okay, thank you, Abby. Let's see, who else is on?
I'm on it. I think the visibility factor allows it to happen.
Okay, thank you. Diane, you're on this. Diane?
Yep. Yes, I'm right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm okay with,
Now, Diane, there is talk about going back to the original one that had more windows in the little Belvedere. Are you okay with that? Because Abby,
I don't, I can't,
let's see, can we get that up on the screen?
You can't see it, Diane, from
Is it in
Focus
this,
Road.
is it in this packet?
Unfortunately, no, I can pull it up on my.
No,
I saw it somewhere. I just saw it.
Oh, no.
I think the house is,
I think, right? Did we have the previous below?
I think,
Oh, no, that's just what was last approved.
never mind.
Go ahead, Diane, sorry.
How many sides of the windows on? It's just the two, not.
Hang on.
Everybody's talking at once.
And it's Diane's turn. Diane, continue, sorry.
I don't have any problem with it.
Okay, thank you, Diane. John,
That question, skylights. Everything's, everything here is existing.
well, everything there has been approved with the exception of the things that he's got bubbled.
Section of what?
With the exception of the things he has bubbled like this. That's the only stuff that's changing. You got the rest of the building approved months ago.
I'll make a motion to approve the prior rendition submission.
Yeah, with the windows, more windows in the Belvedere.
Yeah.
And, okay, great. So on Abby's motion, Diane,
Aye.
thank you. Carrie, you're on this, right?
Yep.
Thank you. John?
One question. Why is the skylight shaped like that with a permit? It happened something in the past, right? Where's the skylight come from? I mean, they had that roof wall.
That's part of the application.
Hit me.
That's what we're applying for currently.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's why, because I caught the boxing of the end of it. I think it's not typical.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no.
It's not typical, John. This
It's
is
in the middle
completely
of
invisible from
Nope.
nowhere.
I know what you're saying.
So there is a
One of
motion.
those sites that.
Okay, so John, there is a motion. Are you okay or not?
I made
the motion, John.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to take one more quick look at that. Looks like it's cold, man.
Yes, thanks. Okay, John on the motion, you okay?
Sure.
All right, so John's in.
Give them whatever they want.
Thank you. Well,
That's
we
what
give
you
Ethan
take,
whatever.
John. That's what you
We don't
take.
give everybody.
Much appreciated, everybody.
And I'm, okay, Abby on your motion,
Aye.
and I'm in favor, so that motion carries. And can we have a motion to?
Again. Hey.
And just to be clear,
John has made,
staff will submit the drawings. to staff.
yes,
Hey.
John's made a motion to adjourn.
One time, some person is to approve it.
Yes.
Thank you.
John made a motion to adjourn. Abby?
Aye.
Carrie?
Now, what-
Diane.
Who got the time?
John, on your motion?
Aye.
Aye.
There we go, and I'm in favor. Okay, everybody, thank you.
Behind me.
It's quarter of 3.